Good morning and welcome to Fantastic Friday. We've made it to the end of week 2, you guys. Good for you. I know a lot of you have been doing a great job staying caught up on your work and getting everything done. That's amazing. Thank you to those of you that have turned it in and for those of you that will turn it in today. Good job. All right. You know, on Fridays they don't help a whole lot, but I will get you started here. Remember, this is that same schedule we've been looking at all week, but the green things are things your teachers have been waiting for. If you haven't already submitted them, make sure you do today so you can get your points for them. You've got the very last dot in every single number talk they've been looking for, and at least the explanation in every single application problem they've been looking for. So make sure you got those in. If you don't know how to do them, go back and check the videos out. In this video, I'll give you a 10-second practice on each of these things, but the job today is to make sure you play that match game and that you actually practice that because it reviews everything we've been working on all week. So make sure you get in and play that. If you forgot the directions, there's a whole big chart or video up on YouTube from Monday. But remember, you need these things. These are your directions. They basically explain how to play the game, but it's mostly like memory, the card game you might have played as kids. Remember, you're going to play 3 matches, I think it was, and see who gets the most points per match. These are the cards you need to remember. The word form matches up to a number form somewhere in there. Okay? So there's that, parents. There's still the answer key posted up from, I think I posted it Monday if you want to look at it. All right. Now, I'm not going to help and actually do the number talks with you today, but I will remind you how they work. Because, remember, we did a couple sections on it throughout the year where we multiplied by tens, hundreds, thousands, and there was some special math about that. Because if I was doing a traditional method, let me just do one really fast, I don't know, 21 times 42. Okay, in this case it works out nicely because that's just 2 times 1. And this is really 2 times 20, which is why I write a 4 in the tens place for the 40 that should be. And now this 4, we know that it's not a 4, it's a 40. So you've got to slip that 0 in there to represent this as 40. And then I can finish off my, oops, I did that backwards, didn't I? No, I didn't. And everything would come out right. Yes, I did. That should be an 8. Oh my goodness, Mrs. Scott. So now when I go through, I can add everything up and everything ends up in the place value it should be. That's the same thing that's going to happen here, okay? Because I'm multiplying by a 10, I know that this part is going to happen. So if I'm doing something, let's just say I'm doing 88 times, I don't know what I'm going for here, 10, it's going to come out, I could do all this math, or I could just know that because this is a 10, I'm going to shift my place value over one spot, and I'll get 880. Okay, if let's just say I was doing 99 times 10, I'm going to come out, I'm going to write my 99, and then I can add on my 0 because I know it would have gotten shifted over right there. Okay, this is where it gets a little bit different today. Instead of being like 99, it is something like 9 9/10, maybe. Times 10. That's happened a few times in these videos. Well, now we know that this 10 moves everything over a place value. That's why we had to shift this bottom row over a place value to help support the fact that this was a 10. So the same thing's going to happen here. Everything's going to bump over one place value. The easiest way to do that, since we're multiplying, is just move your decimal point, and now 9 9/10 times 10 will be 99. Your work today, though, takes it a little bit further and gives you something where it's not just times 10. Let's say I have that 9 9/10 again. This time I'm going to times it by like 10 to the third. That means this 10 to the third business means I'm doing a 10 times a 10 times a 10. 1, 2, 3 times to match my 3. Which means I can move my decimal point not just 1 time, not just 2 times, but 3 times to match that times 10. So it would go over once, twice, and then a third time. So in my answer, I would get my 99, and then I have 2 open spaces over here. That would be a 0. So now 9 and 9/10 times 10 to the third is 9,900. The only other thing, I think it happens a few times, is that maybe it's not timesing by that much, it's dividing by that much. So I still have 3 10s because it was to the third. If it was to the fourth, it'd be 10 or 4. If it was to the second power, it'd be 2. But in this case, I have my 3. So I'm going to move it, but this time my place values aren't gaining. I'm losing because I'm dividing. So instead of going to the right, it'll go 1, 2, 3 spots this way and be here now. So now I have a decimal point and 2 open spots, and then my 99. That's how that works out. The other little bit of help that I'll give you today is your model drawing, only because we've only done one of these since we started. It's a multi-step problem, meaning you've got a couple things to do. So I got you started with your picture. Your job is to figure out the rest, but let me read it really fast. So as a group of 10 scouts are buying snacks for a hike. They buy trail mix for $12, apples for $7, and granola bars for $9. If the 10 friends split the cost of the snack equally, how much will each pay? So I'm going through my stuff. I wrote down that we're discussing their payment for their snacks. Probably should say that that'll be in dollars because they're paying something. Okay. My first box, I have to know how much the bill is. If I don't know how much that bill is, I can't know how much each one owes to make up that bill. So there was that part. And then I need to take whatever that bill comes out to, and I have 10 people helping me pay it. So I had to split it off for one person's payment, second person's payment, all the way through the 10th person's payment. But my question is asking me how much just one of them will pay. So there's another question mark. You need to find this answer today. Alrighty? I hope that helps. If you need anything else, you know where to find us. Have a great weekend, guys.